Valentine's Day residents.
I mean, bad sign that you're listening to us.
Maybe you're listening to it together and like it's like part of your night.
Thank you for inviting us.
Yeah, I've always wanted to be part of a quad. We are doing our annual Valentine's Day special.
That's right.
In the past, you may remember the Aquaman.
Is this a trick?
Yeah. And this year we are doing something just as fun and from a similar era.
Yes.
Superman's girlfriend Lois Lane, number 131.
Yeah.
From like 1973, I believe.
It's funny, like we've talked about these, like the Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen or Superman's girlfriend Lois Lane. We've talked about these books before on different episodes. I know them. I've read some, but before we recorded this, I went and looked to confirm in my CLZ. It's like I don't own a single one.
Yeah,
which is such a weird I mean, it's not even like I have one issue of everything anyway, but it's
a thing where there's value there,
and it's. I think it's maybe a thing where for a while I was like, they're too silly for me. And now I just that's the stuff I love.
It's weird.
Just give me more weird crap. That's a thing. If I saw it in a store, I'd be like, well, I'm taking this.
Yeah. I got it for nothing.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things, especially because I now, oh man, I'm deep in the Canadian online comic purchasing websites.
Yeah.
I know.
Now you just need to get deep into the comic reading.
I've got a guy for that. It's fine. And for me, the stuff that I always look for, especially my favorite section is to go to just the miscellaneous A through Z,
right.
Where it's just hey, this is it with there's no specific category. This is just random because that's where I find the gold, baby.
Totally.
The stuff that that's where I got Prez. That's
right.
where I get a lot of this stuff. I love the the cover for this book alone. There's what looks like a very giant nymph with purple hair and green, which is weird because it doesn't come up again to look like this.
Never comes up.
Nope.
Again. This is 100% your thing of why doesn't the cover match the
inside at all? And it's Lois Lane pointing at a giant boy and says, "Superman, you've got to marry me. There's my child." And Superman looks perplexed and is literally falling backwards, going, "That giant?"
Yeah.
And inside it says,
not the weirdest Lois Lane story somehow. But.
No, for sure. Don't miss the giant surprise tale of the year. Superman, marry me. Also, for the first time, meet Melba.
Yeah, we meet Melba.
It's an important thing.
Hey, listen, she plays a role in the story.
Yeah.
She's in there.
But this is the type of thing that because I remember you telling me that they're you even said, you were Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen books are where the weird shit happens.
They're so insane.
And
they are weirder than the rest of the Silver Age combined.
It's I was telling my wife,
even those weird Batman ones where it's I have to keep switching my rainbow costume or whatever.
Yes.
It's weirder than that.
I was telling my wife about this earlier. And she was like, "Did they just do drugs while writing these?" I'm like, "Yes.
Probably.
Most definitely."
They were probably trying to bang out a bunch of stories and get them out quick.
And this is for some dame, so it doesn't even matter.
I mean, there's probably an element of that kind of thing in there. They do use the word dame a lot.
They do, which is why I used it now.
Man, they use that a lot.
There's a lot of really fucked up stuff in this book, and
it's exactly what I love about these books. It's so goddamn weird.
Yes. And
it has high stakes and no stakes.
But here's the thing. From a canon standpoint, there is stuff in there that it's not just bullshit. They do pull from eras in DC.
Oh yeah.
From things that are really happening in Superman books. There's mention of stuff. I'm well, I know that is a thing that exists.
Well, and what I love about these things is this is the stuff where now a writer will reference it and someone out there goes oh, that's so funny that
yes.
Oh, the 28th century orphan. That's so funny. these are the kind of books that writers love to go back and reference or cameo or riff on.
It's crazy,
or things like that.
but also like you could be like, look, it happened.
Yeah, totally.
I get to reference it.
Or yeah, it would be like an offhand thing. Something would be happening in a totally normal Superman story. You could see someone now being like, well, it's not the craziest, parenthood thing we've had to deal with. Remember 28th century
yes
orphan.
I was so excited about this because I was like, oh, I have a book we can read for Valentine's Day. It's a really crazy old bullshit book about marriage. So
loosely, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, extremely loosely.
I don't know. They go into pretty specific details tying it to this. So
I want to just give the very broad synopsis, and then we can talk about some of the weird ass specifics because I think that's where the fun is in this. So there's actually 2 stories in this, but the main story is called "Marry Me, Superman."
Even though the second story is just the same amount of text in less pages.
Yeah, it really is. The first story is called "Marry Me, Superman." Essentially, Lois Lane, she's out walking, and these guys are gonna like blow her up, like when she steps over the manhole.
Somebody wants to kill her.
Because we learn she's going to testify in a trial against this guy.
Yes.
They call him a crime czar, which is like a cool ass title,
but not a thing I've ever heard of.
I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
At any rate, she like backflips and like survives the blast, and everyone's like, "What?" We meet Melba, who goes like, "Huh?" And everyone's like, "How did she survive?" And the guys are like, "Damn it, we were trying to kill the dame." And then
Lois Dame.
Lois shows up at the Daily Planet. And when she survives, she's like, "Thank you, Mick." And I like turned back a couple of times. I was like, is this book missing a page?
I know.
She's like, "Thanks to my friend here who saved me." And I was like, well, I definitely missed something. And then it's revealed that like Lois has like an imaginary son.
He's not imaginary.
Well, this is how it looks to people. She brings him to the Daily Planet, and Perry's like, "I think you've been working too hard."
Yeah.
And Clark is like, "I'm using my X-ray vision. I don't see shit." She's talking to herself. It becomes this thing where it's like Perry has Melba, this new black reporter, like investigator, because she's like, she has to testify against whatever his name, Bullfrog Jones or whatever the fuck guy is.
Crazy she
If she's too crazy, she's an unreliable witness. This guy's gonna walk. And Melba goes and sees that she's crazy, like watches her like read, like she's reading her lips, like talking to someone that isn't there. She's like, well, I guess I better put this on TV and make sure this guy walks.
Oh, me as a reporter, I need to make sure that the entire city knows that Lois Lane is crazy.
But also, like,
I'm only saying this because Lois Lane is gone.
All of this is happening. Superman's like, there's no one there. He's like, I better go like figure this out. And he disappears, like he vanishes. And you're like, oh, fuck. The guys come back to get Lois Lane in a helicopter outside her apartment.
The best way to kill someone, and the most inconspicuous.
Well, I think Superman might not have vanished by this point because he might
he's on the way because he knows that the helicopter's there.
Heats up her asparagus on the stove.
Is that what it was? I thought it just was burning.
Maybe it just boils over. I might be like mixing it up.
Boiling over because I think
it boils over and she turns like, "Oh no, my asparagus!" And the bullets miss her. And the guys in the helicopter is like, "Oh, that dizzy dame went to check her food." There's a So at any rate, they try to kill her. She's like, "Oh my God, where's Mick? Where's my boy?" She can't find him. She throws boiling hot asparagus at the helicopter, which is amazing. It's like actually maybe the most legitimately Lois Lane moment in the book is like, I can handle this.
Sure.
But then the helicopter gets flipped upside down and Melba's watching. She's like, I don't know how that happened, but Lois is definitely crazy. But it was like Mick, the imaginary invisible kid, did it, and she brings him back inside. Eventually... Oh, yeah, she goes on like a picnic with Mick, and Mick like mutilates a tree so that it spells out her name.
No, it grows. He gets it to grow.
Oh, he gets it to grow. So they're having like a picnic, and the two hoods are like, "We're gonna get her this time." I brought a grenade launcher. It's like a mortar.
Yeah,
they like set up like a mortar in the park to get her. Superman shows up, and you're like, "Oh, Superman's not vanished," and He saves her from the mortar.
Yeah, they don't really
He
just
kicks the guy, and then he's like, "Oh, I believe you about Mick now." Blows a bunch of dust, and it like disrupts the invisible field or whatever. And you find out it's like this orphan from the 28th century, and he's like, I've always read in like history cubes or whatever that like you and Superman would make make great parents if only someone could get you together. So I came back in time to do that. And Superman's like, when I vanished, I went to the future, and the orbital orphanage told me all about this. I found people to adopt you, and he drops them off, and Superman has this crazy offhand comment where he's like, I dropped him off with like one of my descendants, Clark Kent, and his mother is Lois Lane. So it's like, wait, so your family's just incestuous? You and Lois get together once?
Right?
And then for the rest of time, you and Lois get together?
I know.
Which is like kind of insane. But at any rate, like that's the end of that story. I'm skipping so many weird specifics, but those are like the arcs of the story, basically.
Yes.
I want to start with...
There's so much.
I want to. Yeah. Why don't we just get into it? What are the things that you were like, I have to talk about this?
The first thing for me that like the exploding thing is crazy, but fine. I can.
You mean like the manhole? Where they try to blow her up.
I can understand that.
It's overkill, but like if you're a crime boss and you want to send a message and take out the key witness,
sure,
that is not outside the realm of possibility or reality.
Absolutely. And even the
it's a little overwrought, but it's like fine.
And even the like her talking to somebody and somebody being like, that's weird, I'm okay with that.
Sure.
The part that really I bumped up against first was she gets to this fucking to the Daily Planet and is like, hey, I want to tell you guys about this. The best reporter in all of this entire fucking building and potentially the world's best reporter comes in and is like, hey, this is a thing. And they're like, this dame is fucking batshit crazy.
I mean, maybe that's like a real 60s thing of like, it doesn't matter what your credentials are. If you slip up once, you're fucked.
It was just like,
but yes, you're right.
No one gives her the benefit of the doubt.
Even fucking Clark. I mean, there's a little bit of like, at least Clark and Perry are like, we're concerned about her. But you're right. They instantly go to like Lois is like totally flipped.
The best part is a little bit later when Clark's like, God, because she goes to him and she goes, hey,
she goes to Superman, I think, right?
So yeah, so Lois goes to Superman. It's just like, hey, so I've got this kid. You gotta marry me.
Yeah, he's like, I can't. I couldn't raise him on my own. He needs a father figure, and I can't do a part-time relationship. So, this thing I've taken on by myself is now your problem.
But then the funniest part is after he's like, I don't know. Like he goes, God, I knew she wanted to marry me, but she wanted to marry me so fucking bad that it actually made her crazy.
Her woman brain created this invisible kid. Yeah,
I can't believe.
Yeah, it's pretty insane.
This fucking bitch is so crazy about marriage.
Man, her estrogen made an invisible kid for her.
Goddamn hormones.
I mean, Superman is a real dirtbag.
I couldn't because he's just like, oh God, but
it's so funny.
I can't just stop fucking all of these random women. I can't marry this, bro. I couldn't believe it.
It's pretty wild. I mean, God, the line that I mentioned that I like. So when the guys, I mean, I got to talk about these hoodlums.
Yeah,
we keep cutting back to their boss, whose name is like, I don't know, like Bull Johnson or whatever the fuck his name is, some bullshit like that. And he's always like, "You better kill that Lane dame.
Yeah,
that Lane dame. She better be dead." And every time they come back, it's like they've escalated.
Yeah.
First, we were just blowing up a manhole.
Yeah.
Now we're flying a helicopter between buildings in downtown Metropolis and shooting at her full like apartment. And that bit where she does go to the window and she throws the pot at them, which is a bit that I truly feel is like actual authentic Lois Lane, where she's like, I can get my shit together. What do I have?
Sure.
But she throws it, and one of the guys in the helicopter goes, that crazy dame threw hot asparagus water at me.
Yeah, one
Like he's identified it. Like
he knows.
It's not like boiling water. He's just going like, wait a minute, is that hot asparagus water?
God, now my pee's gonna smell later.
It's just such like a clunky piece of dialogue. It's so funny. It's like that is so vintage. What I love from this era of comics is like, just give me like that panel out of context. Like, she threw hot asparagus water at me.
Also, that was boiling hot water.
Yeah,
you wouldn't be like, shoot.
But also, it's a helicopter, and I guess they were shooting maybe the windows down.
Who just boils asparagus?
Well, yeah.
Like I steam asparagus, or I'll like pan cook.
You steam it or you pan cook it. Yeah, in water. It's like a form of boiling, but not just like in a.
I don't just throw
pot.
fucking asparagus.
It's kind of like
no wonder this bitch can't get married.
Too busy being a reporter
to learn how to fucking
never learned how to cook asparagus. Superman's like, I probably would have married you if you knew how to cook.
So
everything in that book has that kind of stank to it, though, right? Like the thing that you're bringing up, which is like, she's the best reporter in the world, and instantly they're like, well, she's crazy. There's no version of this in a world with aliens and Lex Luthor or whatever, where it's like, something is happening.
Something could possibly happen.
Yeah, they're instantly like, well, we're done with her. Melba, get all the info. And then Melba's like, oh man, she's really crazy, but we do need her testimony. Fuck it. I'll put it on TV. Lois Lane is crazy. Here's footage of her in her apartment. And also, we've got a release. She even in the news report says notorious crimes are on the loose now.
Yes.
Thanks to me, Melba.
Oh my God. The scene where
it's incredible.
The scene where Melba goes on. Yeah, she literally goes, hey, just so everybody's aware, Lois Lane is crazy.
Yeah.
She's also disappeared, even though that has not happened in the story. She just went on a fucking picnic.
Yeah.
That's why I'm telling you that she's crazy.
Disappeared, but not so much that two incompetent hoodlums can't find her in a park.
Yes. But everybody's got to know. Two hoodlums
with a mortar in the park. They're on, Lois and Mick are on one side of the hill. They're on the other side of the hill behind a bush going like, I guess this.
Yeah, not just walk up to a woman in the park and shoot her in the fucking face.
Well, they even say from this range, this thing, we can't miss.
Yeah.
We're too dumb to fuck this up.
Famous last words.
Yeah.
There's a moment.
So incredible. Oh my God. It's so funny.
Speaking of a crazy attack things, Superman at one point goes, oh shit, I have an appointment with this attorney.
Right.
So,
yes, I forgot about this. The attorney that's trying to put Bullfrog Johnson or whatever away.
So Superman just shows up as this fucking attorney's like, I can't wait to have my morning donut.
Yeah, and Superman's like, no, it's
not polite to eat in front of company.
And he just takes the donut and eats it, and it explodes in his mouth.
Because it's okay for him to do it.
And it explodes in his mouth. And then
because there was a bomb.
And the district attorney goes, my donut was a bomb.
Jefferson. What bomb goes inside of a donut?
This is the thing that I love about this crime czar and his hoods is he's like, I need this person dead. Find the way that's easiest to thwart and most difficult to convey.
Find the most explosive way to kill them.
They're like, got it, boss.
I know exactly what you mean.
We put a mortar in his donut.
Like, why would you do that?
It's like I would love if there was like a little more self-awareness in this book. Superman eats the donut, and then the next thing he hears like, well, the first bomb didn't work.
Yeah.
Next step, helicopter.
Yeah.
This is the way we do things.
This is the way.
Yeah. Bomb, helicopter, mortar.
Yeah. That's our rock, paper, scissors.
He stops the donut bomb. I totally forgot about the donut bomb. Because as Superman's flying in, he's like, oh my goodness, there's a bomb in that donut. It's a thing that is...
There's a donut in my bomb.
A thing that is happening that is set up and resolved in one panel to a character we've met in that panel. Yes. it's so many of those things happen where it's like, wait, did I miss that? It's like, oh no, it just all happened in this panel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Every single thing happened in that panel.
Oh, it's so fucking funny. Superman also like fucking like flying drop kicks the two hoods in the park, which is kind of amazing.
Oh yeah. He beats the shit out of them.
Well, he jumps over the hill and then just goes legs first into them, like totally straight legs.
Which would go through them.
Well, I mean, he's Superman. He's like, he knows what he's doing.
I need to read the line about the Superman realizing why she might be crazy. I know Lois has always wanted to marry me as Superman and raise a family. Can it be that her overwhelming desire to become a mother has finally snapped her mind to the breaking point?
Yeah. In all my galactic travels, I've never seen a woman be so womanly that it's broken her mind.
It's fucking insane.
I mean, God. Even for the 70s, this feels like oof. So at this picnic,
Superman beats the shit out of these guys. These two jokers. Which I love this way of describing two criminals trying to murder a person is two couple of jokers.
Oh, man, you scamps.
You boys will be boys.
Boys will be boys. Women, though, am I right?
Look, I understand. I want to kill her myself.
Listen, I know you're trying to fire a mortar at her, but like this bitch thinks I'm going to raise her son.
Yeah, so don't get too far with that motor, just in case.
You guys still have that helicopter?
Yeah. Sir, you got to bomb first. You know those steps. Gotta go back to the drawing board. This Superman doesn't get anything.
This fucking book.
So Superman's like, he comes back from the future and is like,
as you do.
Yeah. And is like, oh, don't worry. I know that your invisible adopted son, Lois, is not an imaginary.
Yeah.
I'll prove it like this. First of all,
he punches the ground.
He punches a boulder rather than just like taking some dirt or anything.
We're here in the middle of Metropolis Park, littered with boulders.
Yes, he disintegrates a boulder. He pulverizes a boulder into dust, then blows.
Yeah,
it just delicately blows this dust.
But instead of just tracing the outline, it also like makes Mick visible.
I don't really understand.
Like, I don't know if it like fucks his technology or something. If they say that, I can't remember.
Well, no, this isn't technology. Don't you remember?
No, how is he invisible? I don't remember actually. I just thought it was technology because they talk about how he has these things on his belt that like, are just toys to him, but it's like the stuff that helped him like save Lois through this book, like save her from the manhole, save the helicopter,
which would make total sense to why the
invisibility should be one of those.
That's not what it is.
What is it?
Superman says at the orbital orphanage, which I love that name. Just future words thrown in.
They're like, 28th century, yeah.
Orbital.
What if we put all the orphans in space?
Yeah. Less of a problem for us. At the orbital orphanage, they explain Mick's rare cosmic allergy.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
It's an allergy.
But wait, keep reading though, because it doesn't make any sense.
Unique condition that enables. So it's an ability, but it's an allergy.
It's an allergy
that it enables him to become invisible to all but one person.
Yeah, so it's like,
hey,
did you just freshly cut the grass? Now only Lois Lane can see me.
But it seems like it's selective. Like he chose.
He could decide who it is.
Which one it is.
Or it's you're right, especially in that panel where it's just like, what are science words? Orbital orphanage, cosmic allergy, invisible.
I couldn't believe because then literally
that's right. I forgot about
literally that. The next panel is the gadgets on Mick's belt are mere toys in his futuristic era.
Why?
Then why isn't that the thing?
Like, he has a gadget that makes him invisible to everyone but you.
Yeah, that sounds more plausible.
It's that easy. And they're like,
no, it's some fucking kooky space allergy.
Man,
guy.
That orbital orphanage. They always deal with cosmic allergies up there. they served peanuts in the cafeteria, and this kid disappeared to everyone but Lois Lane.
Yeah. I can't.
By the way, all of Clark Kent and Lois Lane's descendants in perpetuity
are Lois and Clark.
Both look like and continue to marry and have sex with Clark Kent and Lois Lane.
Yep. They just keep being Clark Kent and Lois Lane. I couldn't believe it.
Truly wild.
I couldn't believe that's my favorite. Oh my God. I forgot it was an allergy.
Truly wild. I forgot that too. Yeah, cosmic allergy. To what?
I know. To what?
It's the 28th century. We still have fucking allergies?
No, now we've got cosmic when we fixed the other ones. We've got this fucking crazy.
Hey, there's no more anaphylaxis, but we got a real problem with invisible to everyone but one person kids.
Yeah. Got a real specific problem. What's weird is
also hang on. The Benadryl for this allergy is powdered boulder.
I guess.
Be like, oh, thank you. The one thing that could cure my allergy.
We haven't been able to fix it in the future because we got no Supermans, but
nobody could pulverize a boulder.
Yeah.
In the 28th century. Truly insane.
I fucking love this story so much.
It is wild.
It's so offensive.
I mean, God, if you're picking this up, hoping to be like, Lois Lane, what an empowered woman.
Yeah, what a light romp this is going to be.
Nope.
They're going to fucking try to murk them with a couple scamps and some weird fucking space allergies are going to show up.
They easily say the word dame 50 times.
Oh, yeah.
Story.
They love using that word.
Dame.
A word not, I don't think, used that much in 1973.
I mean, maybe?
Like that's like a 40s
like
and 30s.
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It feels like it's a way more of like a pulp kind of language than the 70s would be. But at the same time, like I guess.
Here's the other thing. Who's this book for?
Right.
Because it's not empowering the woman, so it makes me feel like it's not written for women.
Or it is, and they're like,
we get women.
We understand. You want babies so bad, you'll fucking invent them from the future.
You wanna marry a man so bad, you'll gaslight him into thinking you got some future allergy kid. I can't believe it.
I'm picturing like a cover to like Cosmo magazine. It's like 13 tips to trick your man into adopting your invisible cosmic allergy child.
I can't believe
it's insane.
Yep.
And I think the thing that makes me think of that asparagus thing so much is like, how is there a moment in this book that is, despite the silliness of it, you could put it in a modern comic and I'd be like, yeah, Lois would do that. She'd be like, I got something on the stove. Here's boiling hot water, you fucking assassin.
Yes.
Like, that is a Lois Lane move in the middle of the least Lois Lane thing in the world.
The world's greatest the greatest reporter, and they're like one thing they don't believe, and they're like,
also, she's the world's greatest reporter. You don't just come in and go like,
oh yeah, here's this.
As soon as the first person goes like, I can't see them, you go, okay, well, there's something weird and sciencey happening.
Yeah.
But she goes like, what a weird prank for Perry and Clark to pull. That was kind of mean of them, wasn't it?
Yeah, but they smacked my ass as I walked out.
She can see Mick. Where the fuck is Mick going? Like, actually, it's my cosmic allergies.
Actually, it's my cosmic allergy.
Like, this is the other, like, why? It's not a cosmic allergy. It's a ruse.
Yeah, it's either an ability or science, technology, or just a ruse. But it's not an allergy. That's not the way allergies work.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm allergic to artificial cinnamon. It gives me the ability to breathe underwater.
Sorry. It is a ruse. Like, fully. Because remember, he came back in time from the orbital orphanage in the 28th century
So wait.
to fucking trick Superman into marrying Lois so that maybe later they'd be good parents, like he read about in the future.
So the allergy is just a happenstance. He was like, "Here's my plan." Oh shit! I ate rhubarb.
Or he's like, "Man, this allergy is the pits. Unless I can think of something good to do with it, like trick Superman into marrying Lois Lane."
Yeah, because it does seem like that was his plan.
Which is why he doesn't speak up and say, "I'm actually here." He doesn't go over and like tap Superman on the shoulder.
Wait, hold on. So that means
He's like, if I make Lois look crazy enough, Superman's going to feel so bad for this bitch that he marries her. And then they do become good parents in my future.
So he enacted his own allergy so that he could... This is a bad kid.
I think the 28th century is kind of fucked.
Our time right now is pretty fucked. But
then he goes back and he's like, and great, I've been adopted by exact replicas of the people I just conned.
Yeah, they've got 4 eyes and like...
Yeah, they got a real like Habsburg thing going on, but...
They've got 2 left hands, but it's fine.
They get dizzy when the wind blows.
Yeah.
But
oh dear.
What an insane story.
And yet there's another story.
Also, I mean, if we're talking about weird character moments, it's like, man, our star reporter, Lois Lane, crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, Melba, do you want to immediately have her job and go on TV and call her crazy?
Yeah.
It's me, Perry White.
Yeah.
The guy running WGBS.
Yeah. This is how reporting works. Once one goes down, another one comes.
I love it when a crime lord goes free and we call one of our prized staff crazy on live TV.
I love that.
And if you can get footage of like her in her personal apartment.
Yeah, that's right.
That
being
would be great.
Attacked by fucking like a helicopter.
And even Melba goes like,
that's weird.
How did the helicopter get turned upside down?
Oh, well.
Anyway, Lois is crazy.
What am I going to do? Report on something?
What am I going to do? Say that I saw a crazy thing?
The last thing to do is lose his
end
job.
up like Lois Lane over there.
Yeah. I'm just going to tell everybody that she's gone forever so that I keep this job.
Yeah, she's missing.
Since when?
As in, I've stopped looking at her and now cannot account for her location.
Is that an allergy?
She's invisible. I'm not looking at her. She went invisible.
Oh no, do I have this allergy?
I have a cosmic allergy. Okay, be honest. Had you read this before you said we should?
No, I swear to God I hadn't. I got that book that day and I was like, hey, it says marry me. We should just read this book. I'm sure it'll be funny. I never in my life expected it to be this.
So there's one other story.
If you're thinking, hey, at least the next story will probably be normal.
The other story is arguably less fun.
Yes.
But Superman's a real asshole.
He's a fucking prick.
He's a real dick. The second story is, for reasons I don't remember, Superman's like, hey, meet me at 7, Lois, and wear a Superman costume.
What? So,
and Lois goes, oh, is he going to make me Mrs. Superman? Like, she doesn't go like, oh.
Yes. What's a tryst?
Oh, actually, he says, pick up a Superman costume.
No. He says, get a Superman.
Says, get a Superman costume. Implying, probably in Metropolis, they love Superman. You can get a Superman costume. The very next panel, Lois is furiously sewing her own Superman costume. And Superman gives her like a serum or like a puts her in a device kind of thing.
It's a machine.
It's an energy transfer thing. Yeah, they both have to hold the fucking joysticks like it's the Love Connection machine. And it transfers energy and gives her and her costume. Got to make sure we put that in there. Mm-hmm. Superman's powers for a bit. And the reason he does this is so for the whole fucking day, he can chase her as Clark Kent and pester her the way she pesters him. Would be like, hey, you disappeared right before Superwoman showed up.
His
His
whole
thing
premise
is like, you annoying bitch. This is what it feels
yeah,
like.
I'm so fucking tired of you constantly questioning where I am, what I'm doing. You're gonna fucking see what
He literally says the words "taste of her own medicine"
Yes.
in this story.
Yes. I couldn't believe that this was the story.
He's such an asshole about it because he's also like, I'm not gonna save the day.
Also,
He's
doesn't
like,
help her.
and she just got these powers, and she's crushing it.
Oh yeah,
and she's hiding her identity, and he's like, "Oh, the scissors broke your
What are
hair
you gonna
is
do?
indestructible. You're
That's
Superwoman."
weird.
And she goes, "No, you're faulty scissors." And like she drops them and secretly heat visions them
Yeah.
as they hit the ground. Like she's a better Superman than he is. She's got complete mastery of his powers in like 90 minutes. And Superman is like, I'm going to take this bitch down.
yeah. He's just like, oh yeah, she has no idea what's coming to
For
her.
what?
For no reason. The thing that's like, she's a good reporter and wants to marry you, and you could just tell her your ability is to marry her. And
It's crazy. It's insane.
it's so mean-spirited.
It is so mean.
They go to like literally like crime spots, and he's like, I wonder if she's gonna do the right thing here. Fine.
And at the end, she's like, "Whew, after a day as Superwoman, maybe I shouldn't be so hard on Superman about his identity."
oh
It's
my
like,
god.
So it worked.
yeah.
So we fucking like bullied her into stop asking questions.
I couldn't believe that this was the next story. It's so mean-spirited, especially after the first, because like in that first story,
The first story is weird and like misogynist, but it's like kind of fun.
yes,
This is just like I think he's abusing her.
yeah.
It's like
Oh, you think it's so fucking easy to be Superman?
it's like we're getting like yeah. You can picture like Superman coming home and be like, I just want to come home and sit with a beer without you asking all these fucking questions. Like if they did get married, like
What? Yeah.
it's like, where the fuck is my newspaper?
Yeah, that's 1,000%.
A newspaper you wrote.
Yeah.
Need I remind you?
Yeah. You would think you would have access to getting it to me as soon as possible. Why don't you just fucking tell me the news?
It's wild how much of an asshole Superman is in that second story.
She does a better job of a disguise.
She's better at having a disguise. She's better at being a superhero.
Like changing into her costume,
Changing
using
into
her
costume,
abilities.
using her abilities creatively, like finding an interesting way to do it, and being like smart and surreptitious and stuff like that. She's better at it than fucking Superman. And he's like, but she'll learn her lesson.
Yeah, and
No
she
lessons
does.
learned by me, Superman. Not like, oh, maybe I could be better.
Nope. She learned her lesson. See how hard it is to be old Soups.
Where are my slippers? It's insane.
She looks incredible as Superwoman.
I mean, here's the thing. I'm not like surprised. Like,
no.
I'm not surprised that these things are in this book. The silly things, the misogynist things, the sexist things, the whatever. I'm not surprised they're in this book. I think I may be surprised at how like to the degree to which they're in this book. Like,
Yeah.
they're like to the point where it's like this book is leaning into them.
Oh, they think
Like-
it's hilarious.
I know the 70s is not like the beacon of feminism or anything like that, but this book feels like even in the 70s, it's a step backwards.
It feels like the 50s.
It feels like wartime, where it's like, don't remember, we let you have the jobs for now, but when the men come home, like, like that's what the whole book feels like. It's outrageous.
It's just like, geez, I know comics are often behind.
Of course. But also, like, in that era is like, if you're going to read anything from that era, you're going to find stuff that does not jive today. Of course. But, like, we read that Marriage of Aquaman one.
Yeah.
And other than Mira just being, like, super lovesick or whatever, like, it was just more weird
It
than,
was
like,
stupid
sexist.
and weird. It was Aquaman
The most
being
sexist
dumb.
thing was them being like, Aquaman, choose a bride.
Yes, sure.
Like, other than that, the book just does its own thing, and it's
Yeah.
weird. This one is just because I guess it's the framework of Lois Lane always in the context of her relationship to Superman.
Yes.
Maybe that's it. It's like every turn of it is just like, this woman is like alone in the world with no support. She's crushing it in every conceivable way, and no one believes or supports her at all. And she fucking runs back to the opportunity to be around these people. It's so depressing.
It is very depressing and a very good, like, oh yeah, women were treated really bad.
Like, oof.
But here's the thing that's interesting. The first story, she's not like Lois Lane at all. The second,
aside from throwing asparagus.
The second story, she's really like Lois Lane.
Extremely like Lois Lane.
And it gets her nothing.
Yeah. Oh. You know, when you see something that bad, it just makes you want to like shrink away from the world. You just wish you had some sort of cosmic allergy.
Yeah, if I could just be seen by you and no one else.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Sometimes I feel like I'm only seen by you. You're my cosmic allergy.
Achoo.
Achoo.
Oh my God. Actually, my cosmic allergy gives me the ability to the strength of 10 men and spider powers.
Oh.
I mean, allergies.
Mine's good too, though.
Allergies, you know? You can never count on what they're going to give you as an ability.
I can't believe we fucked up shooting Lois Lane in her own apartment with a whole helicopter. Should we completely blow her up in a park?
No, I got a better idea. Step 4.
Would it be easier if maybe we like threw the grenade because we've got like a better arm than just randomly pointing a mortar, a famously inaccurate weapon?
We got to go to the emergency plan. Step 4. Nuclear bomb.
Step 4. We wait for a solar flare. We direct the electromagnetic radiation through a chain of satellites all the way down to the bus stop where she waits at exactly 7:43.
No, we put the Earth into a polar winter.
Yeah. We reverse the polarity of Earth's magnetic field.
Oh yeah, the last thing about that. When he brings the kid back to the future, he just says, "Oh, after a swift flight through the time barrier."
Yeah, the time barrier, the barrier at time.
Yeah, of course. I was like, "This is around the era. When were the Superman movies? Were those the 80s or
78 is the first one?
Oh, okay. So there's still because I'm like, no reversing the making the planet go the other way or something like.
Yeah, no. Just time barrier.
Yeah, just fly through the
But also, in like, Superman could do fucking anything in this.
Fly through the time barrier for the cosmic allergy or orbital orphanage.
Oh, man, where the fuck is that orphanage? Oh, it's in orbit.
Yeah.
The future.
Yeah. We don't want any of these childless kids around the normal.
Childless kids? Man, the future's got more problems than I thought.
These parentless children. We're not
They're persecuting childless kids. Yeah. This is not the future I want.
Look, it's a Handmaid's Tale situation here. These kids need to be producing children.
Also, like, that's some like fucking like serial killer shit. He's like, I'm an orphan. Who would be good parents? And it's not like I'm going to go back in time and they'll be good parents to me.
No.
It's like, I'll go back in time and make them good parents for the future.
I heard these two people were good. I bet they'd be great parents.
And so I will deceive everyone. I'll ruin the reputation of my soon-to-be mother.
So then all she can do is be a mother.
And I will absolutely gaslight the shit out of my soon-to-be father. And along the way, we're going to have some fun romps with random tactical missiles in downtown Metropolis.
Growing up in the 70s.
It's just, I've run out of words to describe how bizarre this book is, I think.
Not even talking about the ads in this either.
Sure. Do you want to?
I just really love this one specifically because it feels problematic, but I can't point out why.
Sure. Hit me.
It's save these valuable postage stamps now while they last. Free 40 red China stamps. Forbidden for a generation.
The 70s was hardly chill with communism. That feels like a weird product to sell to kids. You've still got the fucking Comics Code Authority stamp on the front of this book.
Yep. Forbidden for a generation. These stamps.
Red China stamps. Boy, oh
You'll get this too. A British Empire stamp.
I mean, good Lord.
I can't. Oh my God. Oh
Wait,
my.
hang on. What's the ad in the very back? Like, turn to the very back page.
I still can't figure this out.
No. Sorry, not the back cover. I mean, like the inside back, 14 something.
14 ways to help you earn more money. Yeah, it's not what you think it
For
is. Yeah.
kids?
Yeah, I guess.
Like, are there like Wall Street bros reading Superman's girlfriend Lois Lane in 1973?
Oh my God. I didn't realize that this was in this.
What?
Letters to Lois and Rose.
Oh, there's always like a letters page or a letters column or something in these old books. Yeah.
Dear editor, get ready, because here it comes. All right.
Uh-oh.
Ari, Lois Lane 127. This is overall your worst effort to date. What? All right.
Yes, Queen.
I'm listening.
Light them up.
Take the insight.
Lois takes too much initiative. She doesn't cook asparagus once in this issue.
Take the inside art. For instance, it literally said for instance.
For instance.
Yeah. For instance, Rosenberger, and Coletta is an acceptable team. An acceptable team.
Was this written by a Borg?
Insofar as Mr. Rosenberger goes, have him put more detail in his drawings, and I promise he will work out well. Who's writing this? And don't be afraid to try different inkers on him. What 50-year-old like other artist is doing looking at this?
I mean, of all the things to critique in an issue of Superman's girlfriend Lois Lane, I can't imagine taking exception with the inking.
I think you, brackets, and we would benefit by it.
Some real armchair quarterbacking from these readers.
Just the way they're writing this. Now we get to the ... words in those little balloons that are scattered all over the place.
So condescending.
Also,
so patronizing.
Probably also somebody who maybe works in the industry but also doesn't read comic books.
It does kind of have that vibe. Well, no, I mean, I don't read that as someone that doesn't know that it's called dialogue. I read that as someone who's being like really like shitty. Oh, you know the words and the little balloons in your fucking book. Why don't you spend some time?
This is like
those?
a ex-employee.
It has that kind of.
I can't believe that they printed this. In other words, the story.
Jesus Christ.
It was terrible. That bit about the Trans-Europa Olympics was utter idiocy. And my idea of a super secret criminal agency is not that A, heavily handed sabotages equipment. Why didn't the judges inspect the damaged equipment after each event? B, writes its name on everything in sight and leaves it laying around. Why didn't the 100 tow the Why didn't the 100 tow the disabled shark away?
I need to read this issue. The 100 and a disabled shark. What is this one?
127.
Lois Lane 127?
Yeah.
I'm 100% going to read that. I'm so intrigued. This is the best sales pitch in the world.
And C, has one of its agents stand in the open with a mirror flashing crazily for all the world to see. If you're going to make the 100 out of the super powerful, don't have them act like Sugar and Spike's Baron.
I like to imagine that this is what, in the 70s? I like to imagine that this guy's complaining about this secret agency like targeting an Olympics, and then like not too long after, like this guy's like, I'm going to fly to Munich. It's like...
Ow, what a wonderful match.
I'll show you how to target an Olympics.
But now, to soothe Carrie Bates' ruffled feathers, look, man, you've got action down pat, so let's work on plotting, characterization, and continuity, okay?
I mean, isn't it a little bit, I mean, I don't know if it's comforting or depressing that it's like, it isn't just Twitter that made people shitty.
Oh no, this is so clear.
I mean, like
this has always been this is literally just seems like a Twitter rant.
Isn't that funny?
As for the rose and the thorn, the stories are fine, but, and this goes for Lois as well, work on the continuity. It is no fun reading disjointed episodes in the superheroine's life. And as far as the art is concerned, Don Heck could be a fine artist if you teamed him with a substantial inker.
What is with him and the ink? Is this guy working like the ink industry?
And
another thing about the inking.
Don just...
What, did an octopus do this? This sloppy inking?
He says Don just isn't strong enough to ink his own work.
What the fuck does that mean?
Well...
This guy's on an ink agenda.
Well, that's all it for now. So stay on your toes, gentlemen, because you know who's going to be watching you from the shadows?
From the ink.
David L. Price.
I'm going to be watching you from the shadows, which are the ink of real life.
Columbus, Illinois. And then in brackets says the shadow, maybe? Which I don't know if that was the person who put that in here or them. That's the greatest thing.
He is... I mean, it's very funny to hear like old discourse be exactly like new discourse.
Yes.
Equally disrespectful and condescending. I think it's amazing. And maybe this is the thing we talk about with Bruno sometimes where it's like, we've had this discussion where like people maybe don't pay enough attention to like a letterer's work. A letterer does important work, but when they do it well, you tend to ignore it, right? Or like a colorist even or stuff like that, unless it's something really out there. But it's so funny that this guy's just so honed in. Like, so it's either he is like got some sort of like Rain Man thing about inks.
He is from the shadows.
Or Lois Lane 127 is just a travesty of inking, where he's like, someone just went like, oops. like it's either all black panels or this guy's the most picky person in the world. He's just not strong enough to ink his own thing. And I would know. I've been watching inkers since before you were born.
So you know what's crazy? So this is, I just had to double check. This is number 131.
Sure.
The next letter is about issue 127.
Like again?
The next thing underneath this, the next person.
Well, that might be like timeline wise too, when you think about like what has just come out versus where they are in like creating it. It might just line up because of that, where it's like, you know what I mean? By the time something comes out and then people write in and then they're working on the next one and it can make it into print, it might just be that like that is the gap.
Sure. I'm obsessed with this.
Can I see the other one?
Oh my god. I would do an entire podcast on these letters. These are fucking hilarious.
So sorry, the very next one, you mean under David?
Yeah, directly underneath it, yeah.
Okay. Let's see. I have not read this in advance. Dear editor, there are times when I despair for Lois Lane. You see, Lois is a rather unique character. She isn't the superheroine who looks for trouble. Incorrect. She's
a reporter. She's her job.
She's an investigative reporter who stumbles into trouble. Incorrect. And she seems never to be capable of getting out of danger by herself.
Without her penis.
No reflection on her. I couldn't either. So along comes Superman, and thus you have the LL formula. So what variations can you give us on this age-old plot? Not many. Therefore, why not get rid of it? Putting your great characters in strange and different locations doesn't help if all you have is an old-fashioned chase with predictable themes such as LL 127. Therein lies the answer to your problem. Better plots. Play down Superman. Make Lois more like Batgirl. Do anything but get better plots. I'm going to take a break here and say I'm actually kind of on board. I don't disagree. Downplay Superman. Make Lois better.
Yeah.
Better plots.
Sure.
I actually think this person might be onto something. The Thorn is being handled even worse. Under the new editorship, she's been cut to a miserable 7 pages. Disgusting!
Don't even get me started on the ink.
And the plots you've been giving us. Can the Thorn do nothing but fight petty crooks? She is a genuine superheroine, so why not give her some super adversaries? Come on now. Richard Morrissey, framing of Maine. You know what? Richard won me over. He's slightly less shitty about it, and I think he's right. Not having read Lois Lane 127, hashtag I'm with Richard.
Hell yeah.
There you go.
It's crazy. This is like 50 years ago, and it's like the same type of things we would see today.
It is kind of, I don't want to like read them all, but there's a part of me that, here's just like, we should get some positivity.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, please.
One more, and that's a short one.
Okay.
Dear editor,
Mm-hmm.
Lois Lane comics are great, but please bring back Lana Lang and Lucy Lane. Lucy and Lana are too good a pair of characters to allow to disappear, and as far as I'm concerned, the Thorn has had it. I think you should put a Lana Lang story in Thorn's place. Think about it. Rob Park, Detroit, Michigan.
Oh, thanks, Rob. I like how these are all.
So these things
dudes.
in the parentheses are responses. So the response to this one was, okay, all you Lana Lang fans, we'll see what we could do by bringing back the most popular redhead this side of Anne Margaret. The response to the previous one that I read was, now that Bob Kanigher is making his presence felt on Lois, as well as the tried and true Carrie Bates, you can expect some interesting and exciting plot developments. Give Mr. K a chance, okay?
Well,
So defensive.
Was there a response to?
It was the response to the first one was just the shadow, maybe.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay,
that's it. They were just like, we're not dignifying this.
I'm blocking that account.
I mean, so wild.
All I want to do is find more of these now.
They're pretty incredible.
I that might need to be a monthly double if those are in more books.
Oh. Dear editor, I've been reading your mag since I was 7. I'm now 12. Believe me, I love Lois Lane. So far, my favorite-ish was 127.
Oh, wow.
The Curse of the Flame. The story was exciting and very suspenseful. One thing, please continue the Lois Thorn team-ups. What are the chances of this letter seeing print?
This is such a different approach. Who wrote this?
Jed Seidel,
Wow.
New York.
Thanks, Jed.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Jed is 12 and is like, I like this thing. Thank you. And then like David L. Price is like,
I'm 40 and tired of
when I was at the Battle of the Somme, the inky black of night.
I like that. Yes.
David L. Price, Ink Master.
Yeah. I like that it's like the kid, who the book is written for is like, hey, this is great. Thanks. Keep it up.
I mean, it just goes to show the more things change, the more they stay the same.
I think that Jon Favreau should have done all of the Marvel movies, and this is how I think it should be done.
Why wouldn't you put Sebastian Stan in it?
Signed 45-year-old man from Michigan.
Release the Snyder Cut.
Little kid says, cool, keep making more Iron Man.
Dear Warner Brothers, let's talk a little bit about lighting. Have you heard of it?
Also,
here's the thing. I'm not shitting on being snarky. I fucking love being snarky. It's this thing we deal with nowadays where it's like, why are you like at tagging someone on Twitter? Like, you think if you like at Warner Brothers, they're going to be like, oh no,
shit.
New penis 540 is he's upset about the fuck, pull it. Like,
I swear I'm not a Nazi. Winky face just told me that the J cut in the recent Avengers movie doesn't line up perfectly. We're gonna have to scrap the whole project.
Yeah, exactly, right? It's so funny to see a glimpse of the exact same thing. And it takes so much more effort to write a letter.
Oh, yeah. And then they printed it, which is crazy.
I do, like, there's something I kind of miss about those. I mean, they were doing letters things even in, like, the 90s in comics and that.
I need to
There's
find
something
all
that
of
I
them.
love about being like, fine, we'll print it. And, like,
Yeah,
you look
'cause
like a piece of shit.
We don't give a shit.
We've already printed the comic.
We're not going to. You already bought the comic. We're not changing anything.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's also.
And if anything, if people hadn't read the comic, they might now to see what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know. Buy
Like,
that issue.
It's win-win, baby.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. There's like a power move to printing letters like that I appreciate.
Holy shit. So that was Superman's Girlfriend, Lois Lane, number 131. I hope that it's available online so everybody can read this.
Yeah, definitely. Well, yeah, I mean, and I got to get out of here before my cosmic allergies act up.
Oh no, you're gonna only see me.
Well, no, it's not. It doesn't affect who he can see. He's not blind to
No,
everyone.
but this is your allergy.
That's someone else's allergy.
Yeah.
It's like the allergy of the Magi.
Yeah. No, this is a quantum allergy. It's different.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So funny.
Yeah, please, if you read this book, let us know.
Isn't it depressing that, like, it's not even like a lunar orphanage? It's like, no, you'll just be in perpetual free fall.
Horrible.
You fucking
Yeah, you'll longingly look for parents that can't get to you because you're in space, and a planet that you want to have parents on, which you can't get to because you're in space.
just in the cold, hard metal cylinder hurtling around the earth.
Yeah, that'll teach you for not having parents. Let us know if you've read this book, and if there are more books that I should be looking for letters, because I want them all now.
I mean, basically pick up anything like from the 90s and backward.
Oh.
And there's probably a letters column in it
Num,
somewhere.
If you want us to do more of any of this stuff, let us know, because
There's a bunch of letters columns in those old other 70s issues that my dad gave me, like the Flash and stuff like that. Yeah.
I want to read more of these old books. I want to read more ads. I want to read more letters to the editor.
Should we do a Oops All Letters episode for Fanagar this year? Instead of Oops All Segments?
Get in the comments.
Just read a bunch of letters?
That sounds very funny.
Yeah, we could do that.
Ciao, ciao.
Adios.
Superheroes, they always fight for what is right. Live with danger and adventure, they are men of might.
This was a Brain Freeze podcast.